Hello, my friends. I hope you're well. So, depending on what figures you're looking at, the average salary in the UK is anywhere between 28,000 and 37,000 per year. Now, this includes London. If you look outside of London, obviously it's much lower. Now, for me, that's an okay wage, in my opinion. Yeah. 37,000 if you're by yourself. Now, it brings into the question of if you have a family. Now, take for example, an average sort of, let's say, rent mortgage is maybe 800 to 1,000 or 12,000 per month. Yeah. And this is obviously pre-tax, the average salary. Now, if you've got a little car and you've got, I don't know, £200 on a lease vehicle, or you've purchased a vehicle, or some sort of train fare. So basically transport is like 200. So you're up to 1,400 now. Yeah. Gas, electric, council tax, all your utility bills is probably about 3 to 400. Yeah, give or take per month. So now you're upwards of close to, I don't know, 1,800, 2,000, if depending on your usage and how big your council tax bill is and stuff like that, electricity. Now you got your mobile phone, £50 if you're paying for someone else or your children, and miscellaneous subscriptions. Let's bring it up to £100. I don't know, you got Netflix, you got some online subscriptions. They're obviously not essential, but it's included nowadays. Most people have it. Either you got Sky TV, something like that. I don't know, Xbox subscription. I think you pay monthly for those or whatever. But bringing in, now we're going to bring in food. We're up to about £2,000 per month. And bring in food, what is left? I spend a lot on food, but I don't know what the average food spend. Let's say 100 a week, maybe 50 a week, 200 a week. I don't know. I spend way more on food, but this brings you to 2,000 to 2,200, roughly speaking. Yeah. Now, this doesn't equate for clothes. This doesn't equate for eating out, takeaways. You're close to 2.5 grand. Yeah. And that average salary doesn't cover that. And we haven't equated for dependents. So just a little bit of simple maths. It just brings us to the point of the average salary. Now, we're not even talking about people below the average salary. 50% of people do not earn the average salary. Yeah, because the average salary is the medium, it's the middle. So anyone below that definitely is going to be struggling. Now, I don't know what the benefits are in this country that entitles you. I think you can work and earn universal credit or PIP or whatever it's called. You can get that and you can get some sort of support. But what kind of life is that? Yeah, you're always relying on the government. I just feel like in order for you to actually earn a decent amount of money in the UK, 37,000, 30,000 is not anywhere close. Now, we're not counting for two people working in the household. So your salary someone might work part-time and someone might work full-time. You're going to need to have two salaries basically bringing in. So you're going to be, I think the average, the minimum you need to be earning is 60,000. When people see 60,000, they're like, oh wow, that's a lot of money. I can't afford that, and I'm never going to earn that. And to some people, 60,000 isn't possible. And whether you're talking head teacher salary, you're talking really seasoned professional salaries for these type of jobs, yeah. And this is working in the city in finance or some commission role where you're a good salesperson. A high level qualified doctor is kind of earning these salaries, a specialist doctor, but maybe even a really qualified research nurse. But other than that, you're gonna struggle living in this country. And it boggles the mind as to people think that it's not okay, or it's okay to be earning these kind of salaries. And it's pitched as in this is the average salary, this is a good wage, but maybe 30 years ago this was a good wage. I remember my father's wage. I'm going back like 30 years, and I was like, wow, that's a good salary. And bring it to this day and age, it's pretty much the same. Like, everyone's earning that money. But back then it was like luxurious. You're earning really good money. But now it's like the average wage. It's just ridiculous. I just don't know what people can do apart from, taking a big gamble on starting their own business and trying to earn that kind of money. But to me, it just ends up like, if everyone ends up with earning more money, I think just the prices of everything will just start going up anyway. So it's like a lose-lose situation. But averagely, like, who can actually survive on the average salary? We just done a bit of maths and it was like, we're pretty much finished on it now. So look, I'd love to know everyone's thoughts on this, and I wish you all the best and take care.